So in our previous class, we have discussed what is risk analysis and why we need to use the risk analysis also we have discussed, and then when to use the risk analysis also we have discussed. So some of the situations when we can use risk analysis we have seen, like when you are planning our projects, when you are deciding whether we can go forward because these are all the risk involved in this, then also we need to proceed or not. When you are preparing to buy some equipment, or like if any technology failure is there, that time if any other personal failure, that means the staff are not going to come, or any national disasters happens, then what is your plan? So these are all the risks, right? So before itself we need to analyze what happens if this all are going to happen, how we are going to deal with that also we need to see. So that we have already discussed. Now we'll see how to use risk analysis. Okay, so how can we use the risk analysis that is so efficient for us? How can you make this so efficient? And then how to use the risk analysis is, we can follow some steps to do the risk analysis. So the first one is identify the threat. Okay, that may be the physical threat, that may be any threat related to the software development, whatever may be the thing, we have to identify the threats. Then we need to estimate the risk. Okay, so that is important, right? You are analyzing, so there is nothing at this point of time, but you are analyzing that maybe this, because of this factor, maybe if anything happens, that what have to do. So there should be some plan for us, right? So when how to use the risk analysis is, we have to follow some steps. That is, the first one is you need to identify the threat, and then you need to estimate the risk. So the first step we are going to do in risk analysis is, we are going to identify the existing and possible threats. Okay, for anything if you are taking, so if you are going to start some new business, right? So already that kind of business may be there. Okay, otherwise a prototype of such kind of business may be there. So you can identify the existing, what is the problem they are facing, and you can also expect the possible threats. Okay, now they are not there, maybe we may get this kind of threats, like that also we can analyze risk analysis. Okay, so we can analyze from different sources. So here we will see how we can analyze our risk analysis, which are coming from different sources. So what are the sources? For example, human beings. So you have some workers, right? You have a small organization or a small industry in which you have some 50 to 60 workers. So because of some illness, for example, nowadays only, if you say like some of the one of the person got infected with corona, because of that it got spread to all the persons. So then what happens? Because of the illness, now you can't ask the persons to work, right? They should be under the medical supervision for some time, and after that also they should be isolated for some time. Then only you are going to, then what happens? You have an order, otherwise you want to develop and deliver something, then the person is not the resource is not available. So like that, those are some of the risks, human. And then operational. So this human risk, generally when you are going to like software companies or anywhere in any organization, not only in the software companies, if for each and every employee, if any particular work is there, one backup person will be there. Okay, that means whenever you are executing any project, it is not like the soul and everything will be known only to the person. When you are developing a code also, you need to write the code in such a way it is readable. That means in every single line you need to write a comment. When you are developing code in your real time, you need to write a comment, because if you are not there today, you'll be there in this company, maybe after 1 week or 1 month you are going to resign to this company, then that project is going to close because of you, no, right? So whether you are there or not, that project has to go on. So there are certain standards by which you need to write the coding, so that it is readable. It is not like your project is specific only for you and all the information related to the project is only known to you. If in your absence also, that should be there. So generally what we are going to do is, you are going to anticipate the risk. For example, this particular resource is not going to come, release is there next week, release is there, so we are at the end of the project and this particular resource is going to come, then we need to keep a backup resource. Okay, if this person is not there, the same functionality will be known to the other person. Like that we are going to analyze, and we are going to take an alternative. Okay, so one of the sources by which we can the risk may be there is human. And then the second one is operational. Okay, so in a manufacturing industry, if you take, if they want to stitch or if you want to build some cloths, they want the raw product, right? Raw supply of some cotton. If there is any cotton textile industry, so raw cotton should require, then only they are going to process that and they are going to make cotton shirts, cotton pants or kurtis or saris, whatever may be the thing. Okay, So if that supply and operations are going to be stopped, then what happens? Essential assets or failures in distribution, that also is one of the reason, right? If the supply is not proper, the operational, some of the times you can listen like there is a strike in some of the transport departments. At the same time, what happens? Obviously, the delay will be there. Whenever you have to give the order after 1 week, but because of the delay, what happens? You didn't receive the material. If you didn't receive the raw material itself, how you are going to prepare your product and deliver to your customer, right? So one of the sources of the failure maybe where we need to analyze is the operational. So you need to plan for that also. That means I have an order, I have to get it ready after some 1 month, means before itself we have to plan. Okay, in 1 month, if at all, if you are keeping all the works end of the moment, in the last week there will be a tension if anything happens like this. So you can plan like before itself. If the 4 weeks is the deadline, you can keep 3 weeks as your deadline. So 1 week as a buffer. So you have to finish all the activities by 3 weeks. So if at all anything happens in the second week like that, 1 more week will be there buffer for you. So like that. Otherwise, if at all loss of access to essential assets or failures in distribution, if they are developing also, they are not properly, they are not able to distribute their products properly. So what happens? You are not get the profits what you are expecting. So that is also one of the source from which you may get the risk, where we need to analyze operational. Then reputational. So as I told, if you are not maintaining the quality of your software or the quality of the fabric, whatever may be the industry or the organization, if it is a software company, that will be a product. If it is a textile industry, that will be the dress, or that will be the product what you are delivering to the customer. It should be of good quality. So if you have, the risk is like if any small mistake, maybe in that bunch, if any mistakes is going to happen also, the confidence of the customer should not go, right? So the reputational risk is that, so loss of customer or employee confidence or damage to the market reputation because of that small bunch, one bunch of manufacturing. If it is anything is defective, if you are releasing to the market without properly testing it, then what happens? It is going to be a risk to the reputation. This is also one of the source where you need to analyze. So you can analyze like, okay, if anything like this happens, what we have to do. So what are the measures we have to take to not happen? That means after testing also, you need to properly do the final acceptance testing once. So like that, that is comes under your reputation. Next one is the procedural. That means failures of accountability, internal systems or controls, or any kind of fraud is going to happen because of the internal persons. So all those things comes under procedural. So anything like that happens. So what is the risk associated with procedural activities we need to assess. Then the project. Okay, so going over budget, making otherwise taking too long on key tasks. So initially this particular requirements where should be finished by this time, designing should be done, and the development should be done like that. We have deadlines, right? So if you are not able to meet that deadline, so we are going over budget, otherwise we are taking too long to finish the tasks, or we are experiencing any issues with the quality. So all comes under our project risk. So this all should be analyzed, right? So if at all it is going to exceed the deadlines, what is the plan we need to implement such that we are going to deliver at the correct time as we have agreed to our customer. As I told, any maybe human, any problem may be there, or operational problem may be there. So we need to overcome all those things and we need to decide, right? So these are all the risks we need to analyze when with respect to the project. Then the next one is financial. Okay, so that means what happens? You have a very good reputation, your company is having a very good reputation, and you have taken a very huge order. Okay, then they have given some advance amount for you, you have done the entire order. So generally it will be like that only, right? So they will be releasing the money for you in phases. They are not going to give you entire money, whatever may be the, that may be software company or any other thing. They'll be giving you some of the money to start, and after that they are going to release you in phases. But what happens because of the business failure or because of some of the factors, your stock market shares has fallen down. So maybe the company who has given the contract want to take back the contract again. Otherwise, you have invested a lot of money in a product and you have launched a product, and because of the market fluctuations, that product is not going to sell properly. So all this comes under a financial. So that you need to analyze. Okay, so this is the project wise. Then the financial wise also you need to analyze what happens if the product I have developed It is not like you are developing the product such that it should be useful for the customers and it should be liked by the customer only. But all the products are successful? No, right? So each and every product what you are developing are not liked by the customers. So that point of view, you need to analyze the risk. Okay, what happens if this particular project, what I am doing is not going to give good results? If at all stock market fluctuations are there, and funding is not there. So like that, many factors will be there. You can see this practically in real estate. When you are doing real estate business, financial is one of the main risk involved in that, because no builder is going to keep their own money, right? They want to attract the customers, and by the customers' money only they want to build it. So that time you can see if at all any builder is having tie-up with a good nationalized bank is going to get good sales. Why? Because many are going to opt for loans. If the funding is not available, so if you are telling like without loan itself, the total amount you have to pay, no one is going to come. In that also, not the total amount, the 20% of the down payment initially what you are going to do, that also many of the builders are going to have a tie-up with the banks. That means they are going to pay initially only this much. After that only they are going to pay. Otherwise, they are going to pay some pre-EMI, something reduction in the interest rates, all those things. So when it is available only, it is helpful for your business. So financially also, you need to analyze how you can actually make your business more. Otherwise, you can identify the risks involved in that particular category in financially. So the next one is technical. So advances in technology, how you are going to use. So when you are using that, what is the risk involved? Otherwise, any technical failure happens, then how you are going to deal with it. As I told, in manufacturing industry, we will have big machines, right? So if any machine is going to be down for some like in 1 day or 2 days also, if you are unable to fix it immediately, that will be a huge loss. You can't meet your deadlines. So that risk also you need to analyze. So what is the technology? What is the technical requirements we have? What is that? Whether we have any advanced technology we are going to use, or what is the type of machine we are going to use? Any possible risks of breaking down, or if it is going to break down also, how much time we are going to take it to again running state? So all these things we need to analyze. So by this should be done initially only. So before giving the deadline to the customer, sometimes the customer, the client will give you the deadline. So we don't have much time than this. So you have to finish it. So sometimes what happens, many times the project deadline will be estimated by the developer and we will be giving them. Okay, so this much, this is the functionality you want. So this much amount of time we want. For example, 3 months or 6 months to make your functionality to live. So like that, we are going to analyze, and then that time we need to consider all these factors: human, operational, reputational, procedural, regarding the project, financial, technical, everything we need to do. Okay, if any technical failure happens, then how to cope up with that and then continue with our project. So all these things we need to take care. Then next one is the natural. As we know, because of some weather condition, because of some natural disasters or any disease, as we have seen now. So everything was going to impact, right? From the small business to big businesses, small organization to big organizations, from starting from a roadside vendor to the stock market, everything is impacted in this year to 2020 because of COVID, right? So that maybe this is one of the outbreak of a pandemic. So in the same way, any natural disasters. So some years back we got tsunami, and some of the states or some of the places, some of the cities has been waived off, and lot of again they need to invest on that to get in place. So like that, we need to analyze the risks naturally. What may be the risks that are there, and then political also. So we may think like what how it is related. It is very much related because of the tax slabs we are going to pay. Definitely, it is going to impact our business, right? So the profit whatever you are getting, based on that, if you are giving that, you may give some of the hikes for your employees. If the tax you are going to pay is more, then obviously everything is going to reduce. And depending upon the governments, each time the government is going to change, the government policies are going to change, how the tax should be imposed and what are the rules they are going to give for certain organizations or certain sectors. The textile should be in this way, and other things will be in this way. Like that, many rules are going to change. So that time what happens, so initially maybe you started a project and that is going to require some other functionality, and because of the new rule of the government we are not able to do that. So these also we need to analyze. So by analyzing all these things, we are not saying that 100% we are not getting any new things. So again, we may get or we may not get, but we need to be in a position that from all the possible sources, different sources from where we may get a risk, we need to analyze it. Okay, so that is from the political perspective. The next one is structural. So how we are going to do structure means if you are having any dangerous chemicals, any poor lighting is there, any situation like because of the technology, the staff are harmed. If you see in coal mines, you can see many a times like the patches of the mud are going to fall on the workers and they are going to die. So they have the risk, right? They have the life risk there, and then because of the toxic chemicals released there, their health are being spoiled. So that means we are going to analyze the risks in that way also. So any dangerous chemicals are there in any chemical manufacturing, because of that the combination and they are doing, if any injuries or if any life threatening happens to the employee, so that may be a risk there. Like that we need to analyze from structural point of view also. So this is the way we can analyze the risk from different sources. When we are going to give a deadline or when we are going to decide whether we have to take this project or not, we need to analyze all these things. Okay, risk analysis is like simply not to tell like, okay, I'll analyze the risk. How you will analyze? Based on these many different parameters or different sources, we need to analyze what are the possible, what are the existing threats, and then what are the possible threats we may get in the future. Okay, I think everyone understood, students? So next we'll continue. Okay. So next we'll see some of the different approach to carry out the analysis, how we can do that. Okay. And also certain tools are there to do the analysis also, that also we'll see. So the first one is different approaches how to carry out analysis is run through a list. Okay. So what is the list we'll see in our next slide. Okay. Otherwise the analysis how we are going to do we'll see in the next slide. And then to analyze the possible threats and then which is relevant to ours, we can see the list that we have seen before. In the before slide we have seen, right? These are the possible from different sources, right? So we have to go through this list and then see any of these threats are relevant for the application, for our application. Maybe that may be a software product, as I told. If you are from the textiles, like you want to release a product, any like a new suit, or if you want to release any new design, so that will be yours. Like that, we need to based on, because all are not applied to all the types, right? So all the types of businesses, it is not applicable. So maybe technical is not applicable to some of the business, and then some of the business don't apply any, if at all no human intervention is there, everything is done using machines, so that time it is not required. So like that, based upon our whatever application or whatever business asks, we need to pick from the list and we can analyze the possible threats which are relevant to our application. And after that, we need to think about systems, processes, or structures that we are going to use. As I told, depend on structure also, it is going to differ, right? And we need to analyze the risks. Okay. So what are the vulnerabilities, what we are observing in that system, in the process we have taken, in the structure we have taken, we need to analyze. So that is the second thing. And the third thing is we need to ask others. Okay, different perspective. Like a team, we can make a team. Otherwise, you consult an organization who are doing the similar projects, and then you can take different perspectives. So how they are going to analyze the risk and what is the success rate by doing that, by taking such kind of thing. Like that, we need to analyze. Okay. So like that, we need to do the analysis. So to do the analysis, we have a tool such as SWOT analysis and failure mode and effects analysis. Okay. It is going to help to cover the threats, uncover the threats. That means what are the threats we are having, we can see. And then we have another type, that is scenario analysis. It is going to tell you or explore the possible future threats. Okay. SWOT analysis is going to tell one type of thing, like what is the way we are going to analyze. And then failure mode and effect analysis can tell you the what are all threats that are available, and then scenario analysis is going to tell you the future threats. Maybe in future you are going to get this threat that may or may not come, but you are going to analyze and estimate this may come. Okay, so that is called as scenario analysis. So now we'll see what is SWOT. What is the tool SWOT? SWOT is nothing but strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So this is the tool by which you can analyze the data. Risk analysis can be done, because here we are going to take all the factors: strength, and then weakness, and then opportunities, and then the threats. So finally, by taking all these things into consideration, we are going to analyze the risk. So first one is strength. So things your company does well, what is your strength, and then what is the quality that is very unique in your company, which is going to separate you from the competitors, isn't it? We have many brands, like for each and everything. If you take a moisturizer, we have n number of brands, right? So but how we are going to pick your moisturizer depends upon many factors, like it depends upon the quality, depends upon the ingredients, depends upon the reputation, that means the ratings. So generally we'll see, right, whenever you are going to buy a product, you'll definitely see the ratings, how the ratings of that particular product is. Then you are going to see the price of that particular product, and then we are going to see how it is separate from the other. That means many moisturizers are there, in that how it is unique for you. I'm telling, like each and every, like the same product is going to use by all, maybe depending upon your skin type, depending upon your taste. Maybe someone wants certain color, someone wants certain fragrance, so someone want to specific problem, maybe dry skin, like that. So we change, right? So the qualities that separate you from your competitors, so that we need to identify. Then internal resources such as skilled and knowledgeable staff. So if you want to develop anything, if you are not having a good team, which is having a good team, then it is not possible to develop a quality product, right? Something and all, if you want to develop, that is okay, but quality product you can't. So the next one is tangible assets such as intellectual property, capital, proprietary technologies, all these things. So what are all the strengths we need to identify? Then the weakness. Okay, so where we are lacking, what we need to do more than the competitors. So for example, in the same, like in the same area, if you are, I am doing IoT projects, my company is a startup company and I'm going to do IoT projects. So like that only, we have many other startup companies. So we need to analyze how we are going to stand, in what position we are going to stand in all the companies while doing the projects, getting the projects in all the aspects. So we need to do the things what our competitors do better. Okay. So what they are going to do better than us, what is the weakness, where we are lacking and all, we need to analyze. And then what are all the resource limitations we have also, we need to see. So by taking all these things, we need to decide what are the weakness for us. Then the opportunities. Okay. So what are all the opportunities? That means some of the businesses having high demand all the time. So which are the very basic needs. And some of the businesses will have demand occasionally only, right? So we need to analyze the market for specific products in this particular, maybe in this area, this particular product is going more. The people are liking more, like that. We need to analyze. And then we need to identify the emerging need for your products or services. In many products, if many products are there of the same time, why the customer has to buy only your product, or why they want to take only your service? That means you should be doing a very good job. That means you should be providing a very good price with a good quality and then good support. After that, if anything is there, you will be assisting them. Like that means they are going to definitely going to give it to you only. So like that, emerging need for your products or services. And then what is the press and media coverage of your company it is having? That is also important. Right now everything is digitalized in this digital world. Making popularity is like by doing more advertising. It's not I'm telling like you need to spend all the money advertising. Like you should be active in social media, and then you are going to promote your product. Otherwise, the media coverage should be there for your company, so that everyone will know, okay, this is company and this company is producing this kind of product. So that should be there. Then only you'll get more opportunities. Maybe by seeing that many other companies who want the same type of functionality may approach you, and by that your opportunities are going to increase. Okay. So that is also there. We'll be considering. And then T, threats. So who are all the coming competitors? That means what coming people will do, what are all the logs, backlogs in your system they'll see, and they are going to develop the one which is more efficient than yours. So definitely what happens, the people are going to move from yours to them. So you need to identify what is the emerging competitors, and then what are the changing regulatory environment we have, and then if any person is there negative to you, that they are wantedly they are going to criticize your product like that, or any changing customer attitudes towards the company is there, if they are not feeling good by your company or they are feeling very good like that, everything will be analyzed using the SWOT analysis tool. So strengths, weakness, opportunities, threats, everything will be analyzed using a SWOT analysis tool. Okay, so after this